All right. It says that you're all here. Sorry, technical difficulties trying to figure out how to do these Zoom meetings. I'm not 100% sure that you're all here. Rob, are you in? You're here. I see hands coming up. Okay, great. We're going to figure this out. We're going to be doing a lot more of these webinars, and we will get this figured out as for sure as we get going here. Um, I wish that you all were allowed to be in the grid. I'd love to see your faces. Something I did booted you out and you had to rejoin. Okay. Hopefully everybody's going to be able to get in here. Rob, if you could figure out how to like turn on, enable
Yep.
so they can turn cameras on. I was hoping to have like a gallery view so we knew who all
Sure.
was. But um, anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Let me see if I can get my screen pulled up, get my computer showing. Got all kinds of stuff happening here. Where is my Google slide that I just built? There it is. All right, play slideshow. Okay, everybody can see my computer now, right? Smackdab launch party.
Yep, we're good.
Good. Okay, here we go. Okay, thank you for being here. This has been years in the making, and we are definitely later. You are missing nothing. Later than we wanted to be with all of this. We tried to get this out last year, realized it wasn't quite ready. We needed to do a lot more work. Took another year, but we are here now, and I really appreciate everybody that's here and shown up. So the idea is that we wanted to set a new standard for efficiency. So we wanted to provide a platform that has complete workflow flexibility, has instant responsiveness. It's a unified platform. We wanted to have AI natively in there and be structured simplicity. So when I set out on this journey about 3 years ago, I sat down and said, okay, what are the things that we learned from my point that we have to make sure we do better for the next time? And we had 5 architectural mandates. So basically, these were the non-negotiables, the rules that no matter what we did, they had to abide by these rules. The first was open source. And what that means is when we do a web application like what Smackdab is, it takes a lot of different components to put it together. It's called a tech stack. And we didn't want to be locked into any vendor for anything. So there was a rule. Everything had to be open sourced or we had to create it in-house. And it looks like my camera's lagging. Really sorry about that. I couldn't figure that out today. So hopefully for next time we'll get this fixed. But the rule was 100% open source. And we spent so many hours, we spent years trying different combinations of solutions that were open source to meet the mandates that we have. Um, and this is honestly is what took so long is when we measured something up against what I required, they wouldn't work. I would literally just throw it out. We could spend months building something, thousands of hours, and at the end of the day, if it didn't meet spec, I kicked it out. I said, no, we're going to do it again. We'll figure out a way. So at no point have we ever turned to using something like FileMaker or anything that is name branded. It's all tools that we have adopted, customized, and built to be our own and to our own exacting standards. Second mandate has to be blazing fast and infinitely scalable. So with iPoint, obviously, there the scaling factor was a limitation, right? And so we wanted to make sure that no matter how big we got and how big your companies got, there was never ever going to be any sort of latency involved. So the architecture in the backend had to be so strong and so robust that we could have hundreds of thousands of users. That was literally our test cases. So we would load up our system with hundreds of thousands of records and make it process and sort them. And my mandate was sub-second responses for everything. So that means anytime we would ask the server for anything, any sort of data query, my objective is it has to respond in less than a second. I don't care how complex it is, get it back in a second. And we have pretty much met that. So when you're in there, it should be extremely fast. The team is always working every day. We're reviewing the logs, looking for any of the specific calls that may have caused a delay, and they go in and they optimize it. So blazing fast at any scale. So our infrastructure can scale out to hundreds of thousands, millions of users, billions, trillions of records. It won't matter. Uh, Completely customizable. Mandate number three. iPoint was very had a lot of choices, a lot of settings, which actually lended to some of the trying to figure it all out, right? There was all these different toggles that you could do and different ways of doing things, and that was great. But you were still locked into the world that we created. And so on this go around, I wanted to make sure that what we created was, yes, we get you started with our default system, but that you can optimize and customize it in whatever way you need to. So that means you can create new entities, modules, fields, layouts, whatever you need. Our end result will be something you can tailor make for your needs. If you want to create a new module called subdivisions, or if you want to create a special value list for your tools and put it into a work order, you can do that kind of stuff in Smackdab. Open API. Smackdab will have a completely open API. What this means is that if you were one of the companies who wanted to take your data and or the application and extend its functionality, whether that's through Zapier or your own custom business analytics tool, whatever it is, you could have done it in the iPoint. It is very hard, and we didn't support it. Smackdab is not that way. It's being built with a fully open API. So those of you who want to extend it can. We'll also introduce a marketplace like most other CRMs where we'll have basically authorized plugins that will work with us. So that'll come later, probably next year when we start to open up the marketplace. But those having an open API was one of our mandates. Final mandate, number five, AI had to be foundational. So I started this project 3 years ago. Uh, 3 years ago, OpenAI and ChatGPT wasn't even a thing yet. So we had already decided that we had to figure out how to use AI and machine learning so that we could basically reduce the chaos. The whole idea was, what are all the variables that you guys are having to figure out in your people in the course of a day? And how can we figure out how to reduce the variables, look at the data, and actually help make the decisions for you to alleviate that task loading, if you will. So we wanted to remove the daily variables and the chaos with autonomy. The core reason behind that, and it's my personal why. So I love the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And my why is that I think that as companies, we succeed when we invest and value our people. And I know a lot of you personally, and I know you feel the same way. And I know we're building a software tool, but my underlying why of why we're doing this is to create space. Space for your people, one, to grow personally and professionally, which we intend to have growth tracks inside of the application, but more importantly, to focus on what they do best. If you're in sales, the best way you can sell is being in front of people, making contact. There, in the day of AI and machines, it's like everything, we're trying to figure out how to replace everything with computers. And there's always going to be a need for the human touch. And in sales in particular, people are going to want to talk to somebody and work through a problem. They are not going to want to just flip on AI and go, okay, design my home theater system for me, right? So The more time that we can free up from the busy work and the task loading so that people can focus on whether it's sales or installing whatever the process is, the more efficient you are, but the happier they are because they're doing things they enjoy, not the annoying tasks and the data chaos that comes with just business. So the five architectural mandates that we had to do: open source, blazingly fast, completely customizable, open API, foundationally AI. And just for fun, since we're talking about I used Google's slides to build this. And so I let the Google LLM create all my slides, well, almost all my slides for me. So I think this is fun to do because you realize how cool AI is and yet how horrible it can be at the same time. So I bring it up because it's important that we keep it in context of what AI is truly capable of and how we use it. So something, you ask it to do this, the spelling errors and the crazy stuff it comes up with, it's not like it's going to replace us today, tomorrow, or in the near future. But it is an incredible tool, and we are leveraging it where it makes sense. It does take a lot of work because it can't be sloppy like this is, right? So we've got these images that are being created by this AI that are chaotic. So that's why it's tedious work, and it's important, but it's tempered. So I just want to set that out there that we are .ai because we are so focused on AI, and yet at the same time, it has got a lot of limitations and it's oversold. So I think it's important that as a company, we properly convey that. So the cornerstone, though, I want to get some of this out of the way so that you guys understand where we came from and how we got to today. So I'm giving you some of the backstory here because it is important. The database. The database is the cornerstone. It's everything. And when we went to market and started looking at other CRM applications, the big guys like Salesforce and um, Zoho, Pipedrive, HubSpot, they all use a traditional relational database model. And relational database models are important, particularly because of ACID, which just stands for automaticity, compliance, integrity, and durability. And basically what it means is if you do a stock transaction and we have to have a debit and a credit, and they have to go through together because if I record the debit and the system crashes and you don't get the credit, now we've got a really bad situation. And so a transactional relational database makes sure that all those transactions are committed together. So we had to have that because we're absolutely going to be having all this financials. This is going to be an ERP platform, over the next few years. So the problem with them is they're inflexible. They don't model. You can't just create new stuff in them. These databases are like locked in stone, and it's very difficult to expand them. So then we started looking at, well, okay, what are the other tools that are popular right now? Who are the up and coming CRM and softwares that are like that? So we're looking at Monday.com, Copper, Asana, ClickUp, these modern project management platforms that then also do CRM. They use a different type of database. It's called NoSQL. But what it means is they don't store stuff in tables and grids like an Excel file. They store them in like documents. It's like having your data in Google Docs. And what's cool is there's no structure. So you can create fields, you can do whatever you want because the database has no intrinsic structure that it has to abide by. So it makes it incredibly fast because it's not looking through relationships. You just pile all the data into like one document and it's all there. So it makes it very quick to retrieve the data. The problem with it is data gets messed up, it gets messy. Doing relationships is a nightmare. So, in our world, we have to have a customer who has proposals, that has a project, that has tasks, that has inventory that's been attached. It's like it's this long string. And doing that in a NoSQL database, not that it can't be done, it's a nightmare. And it basically has the same problem, but in reverse. It's like creating the relations just destroys the whole concept of the speed and flexibility. And it's not ACID on top of that, which means you could lose stuff if something goes wrong. So that wasn't going to work. So we're like, okay, we have to have both. We have to have the traditional relational database for integrity, right? But we need the speed of a NoSQL and the modern one. It has to be a unified platform. And AI has to run on top of it, which AI runs much better on the new models than it does on the old structured models. So this is honestly where we spent all the way up until like fall of last year. So over 2 years went in to the R&D and the development of our database. And the reason I actually had to pull back when we launched beta last year is the model we were running wasn't going to work still. So that was iteration number 3, and we thought we had it, but then we scaled it and it didn't work. So at last April, we thought we had this. We load the system up with thousands, hundreds of thousands of records, and it comes to a screeching halt. So tossed it all out again, started over. And we finally figured it out. And we had to do it by giving up on finding what somebody else has created, and we've ended up engineering our very own. So I've got an engineering team of about 60 people now, and we had 10 to 15 that did nothing but database design. And we just tossed it out and said, let's just create our own model to figure out how to do this. And it's our special sauce. It's one of the things that's going to allow us to compete at the national, international level. And it's what's going to make Smackdab incredibly powerful for you. So we figured out how to take the traditional database, and we're using Postgres for those of you who might know databases, and we're using a traditional layer. But the team figured out how to basically run 2 separate database models on top of each other. So we took Postgres and we basically turned Postgres into a high-speed NoSQL database, but that runs on top of the traditional transactional relational database. So what that means is we get all the compliance and integrity of the foundational level, and then we pump it up and we get a high-speed layer that lets us do whatever we want. So any customizations you want to create, we can do it. We have zero limitations. So we have 100% of the flexibility of the modern unstructured databases, and we have 100% of the integrity of the traditional database. This is truly incredible. It is absolutely innovative. I've done a ton of research on this. If you want to go plug in the way we do things into like OpenAI or Google Gemini, it's familiar, but I've never seen anything like that before. So it's really cool, and we can handle millions of records. Like I said, it's amazing. So we got that done last fall, and then we've shifted gears and been getting done all of the feature sets then that were kind of behind schedule because we had to work on the database so long. So sorry for the long backstory, but I wanted to explain why it's taken so long to get here and why it matters moving forward is all of the people we had focusing on the database are now flipped over and focusing on cranking out the features that we need to implement Smackdab and then ultimately overtake iPoint and start consuming the functionality that iPoint has had. So Smackdab is the new standard for efficiency. It is faster, smarter, more flexible. We will be rebuilding all of the core iPoint functionality on top of this new platform. It's going to take through the end of 2026 is our estimate. We feel good about that, like I said, because we've actually built Smackdab about 4 times now, and we did that in 3 years. So we're pretty sure that we can start cranking stuff out now that we no longer have to keep rebuilding it. We've got the platform, it's done, it's incredible, and everybody's cranking out features. So full parity by the end of 2026. As we do that, you guys are going to be able to use the features that we release as we release them. You're going to get speed, reliability, flexibility, modern AI, and native app that does everything. So our app is native and it is being built alongside of the main application. It was pretty much ready to beta release, but we have to retheme it. And we'll look at Smackdab here when we get done with this presentation part, and I'll explain the theming and what's going on with the brand and the theme and why the app's going to be about a month late now. But what's available today in Smackdab? Modern CRM. So we have full featured CRM. So if you want to go look at Zoho, Pipedrive, Keep, I don't care who it is, we should have just about everything that they offer, but we do it to the nines. Calendar integrated integrated calendar booking. So you guys all, most of you have heard of Calendly or Chili Piper or OneHub. There's a whole bunch of them. And we looked at this not as how do we just cram in a new feature. We did a lot of that with iPoint where we built stuff. It was our philosophy, and it's still my personal philosophy to homebrew as much as possible. But you compromise, and we compromise in iPoint. If you ever tried to use our deals or our dashboard it was horrible, right? So I'm not ashamed to say it. We tried to do it. It didn't work. I'm never afraid to do something and then not have it work out. I'll toss it. We'll do it again. That's what Smackdab is. It's the ultimate. We're tossing it out. We're doing it again. These features, the calendar booking system, is absolutely incredible. We are on par with best in class on everything that we're adding into this thing. So it's not that you go and you look at what other CRMs have, because what they have are either third-party integrations because they don't want to do it, or they have really crappy versions of something. So whether it's a booking system or an email client, if you've ever tried Pipedrive's email client, it's not good. And none of them are. So when we did an email client, and we need the email client because it's all embedded, everything is connected together. So with the AI, we understand when your clients respond to you. We can do phone calls. We can transcribe the phone calls and attach to the client record. So basically, we have an entire communication environment with you and your clients. So it's what allows us then to take AI and do things that proactively head off the chaos. So, email client, we looked at Google and we started modeling Google. What does Google do really, really well? And then we looked at some of the high-end email clients like Superhuman, which is a fantastic email client. And we start modeling it. So we've looked at the best in class and we model those. We don't just figure out what could we do to make it work. It is what is the best, and we're going to model those best in class products so that our modules are on par with best in class products everywhere. So we also have SMS and email marketing. So this means like iPoint, we had an email marketing system in iPoint. It worked, wasn't great. This one is fantastic. We home built our own email builder, whereas iPoint used an off-the-shelf part. And basically everybody I've ever looked at uses an off-the-shelf email builder. We built our own because they were all off the shelf. They weren't easy to use. We home brewed it. It's incredibly easy to use. It's incredibly powerful. And we can do text messaging as well. So if you wanted to text your clients a marketing special, we can do that kind of thing. We also have one-to-one texting and calling. So we have an integration with Zoom, and we have our own built-in phone system. The built-in phone system is really basic right now. That's will be ramped up over the next 3 to 4 months as we get ready for the help desk, where we'll have a full call center in our phone system. So those are just some of the things. Along with automations, we have an incredibly powerful automation engine that it blows away a lot of what's out there in the market. Meaning, pretty much anything you can do by hand, you can do through an automation. So when X happens, I want to do X, Y, and Z, along with decision trees and all kinds of stuff. If you're a power user, you're going to love the power that we've given you with automations. What to expect? Looking over the horizon. So over the next 6 months, help desk is already underway in development. That's been planned for years to have a help desk application. The reason it's next, when I know there's a lot of things that are important to you guys, the reason help desk is next is 80% of it is already done because it tags off of the pieces we've already built for the CRM. So it's a natural evolution to add on the Kevin Swift raised their hand. I don't know what you need there. If you'll use the chat, Rob should be looking at the chat and can grab me if there's something going on. Anyway, so over the horizon. So this year, help desk is coming up next. We wanted to get that out in late Q2. It's honestly, we're adjusting our timelines, probably really early Q3 right now for the help desk system. It'll have integrated phone, ticketing, and it'll be fully embedded, an embedded module with the rest of the application. Proposals are underway as well. The design and engineering is getting worked on for these. It's going to be a two-pronged system. So a number of you have adopted portal because it's so easy. It's got a library that's there. You just pick and choose, throw stuff in. It's super simple. We're going to have something very similar. It's going to be lightweight. You'll be able to do it from your phone, iPad, computer. It's going to be beautiful. It's simple. Send that out to your client. But we also are going to have the second half, which is the iPoint and the D-Tools SI power user system, where that very same proposal can be looked at from the simple version, or we'll be able to use it in the power user side, where you have the table and you can do all the sorting and filtering and mass update stuff and copy rooms. All of the features that you guys have been asking for in iPoint, we have them. I know that you haven't seen a lot of updates around the feature requests that you've been putting in the last few years. This is why we've been so focused on getting the system up and going. All of that stuff is going to be addressed and looked at as part of the Smackdab platform. So we're listening. We do have your feature requests. They are being implemented as part of the new system. Proposal builder before the end of the year. I'd love to see it late Q3, maybe early Q4, before the end of the year. 100%. I'm not going to not get this out before the end of the year. Customer portal, that will follow right after the proposal builder, if not actually come a little before. It may come in between there because it works for both the ticketing system and the proposal builder. So that way your clients have a portal that they can log into. This will become a powerful system for you and your clients. Everything you do for your clients will be in their portal. So all your proposal history, your documents, your design and engineering, your help desk, your ticketing system, your scheduling system, they'll be able to log in, select the room and a product, my TV in my living room, and say, it's not working. I need a service request. And that can come through our ticketing system. It's all going to be connected, and your clients will have a portal that they can log into, manage their payments if you do recurring payments for uh, whether it's security or you do service plans, whatever it is, all of it's managed through the customer portal. So that'll be an ongoing development as we introduce new functionality. We'll continue to build out the customer portal. And the library experience will go along with the proposal. So we do have the iPoint library right now. It is heavy. It was built to complement the power user workflows, not to make it super easy. The product library experience in Smackdab will be much more portal-esque. Portalist? That's a new word. We're going to make it up. Portalist, where it's just easy. It's just right there. You click, use it. There's no verification. So we are in heavy communication with the vendors right now, building out that library so that it's ready to go by the time the proposal system comes online. I'm almost done. Our commitment to support. I've heard from quite a few of you. You're going, Smackdab's out. We need help. We need somebody to walk us through this. I hear you. I've worked with a number of you. We are ramping this up. Being involved and providing top tier support is incredibly important. It always has been with iPoint. Our support team has always been our number one priority, and it will continue to be so in Smackdab. We're going to do things a little differently because we're basically proposing this to 350 companies who use iPoint, going, look, this is available to you. It's included, the starter plans included with your iPoint subscription. We can't onboard every one of you by hand individually. We shouldn't have to. Smackdab is incredibly easy to use. We have an in-app help system that's in there, kind of walks you through things. We have in-app chat support. So at the moment, we don't have live phone calling for Smackdab. We will get there. I just don't have it quite yet. But we have chat. So you hop in there, you can chat. Basically, we have a ticketing system that's embedded into our chat system. It's kind of a template for the help desk we're building out for everybody to use. Inside of that chat, you can actually do screen captures. You can take photos. A lot of you have already done this. You can record your screen and show us what's going on, send it to us. We will, in the near future, be able to escalate that up and do a live screen share, get on the phone with you. We just don't have it in place today. So to make up for that, I will be hosting along with Rob, Michaela. We will be hosting, starting off bi-weekly webinars. So probably Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll start them next week. And it'll just be an open forum. We'll train on something. So we'll spend 30 minutes training on a topic, and then we'll spend the next however long, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it takes, talking with questions, walking through scenarios. So you have that available to you. We also have the community, community.smackdab.ai. I've been on there every day. If you put something in there, I probably responded to you within 10 to 15 minutes. So the community is, we really want this to be community driven as well because Smackdab is so flexible. There's a lot of stuff you guys are going to come up with. We'd love for that community to grow, for you to help each other out, share ideas, and we will be in there every day as well. Screen sharing is coming. Like I said, it'll all be built in, so you won't have to go download an app. It'll just be right there in the help system. Authorized screen share will work with you one-on-one. Partner network, the last thing to know, we are building out over this year a partner network. So iPoint never had this. iPoint was all just us. We are going to be building out a external partner network where we will have certified partners who will be fully trained in Smackdab. And you would be able to say, I want to hire this consultant to come and work with us in office. And we want to set this partner network up across the country. And so that would be an opportunity for those of you who want a professional trainer to come on site. We hope to have that set up this year through the use of external partners instead of trying to do it all in-house, which is what we used to do. And it was just, we couldn't keep it going with in-house staff. Okay, dollars and cents. So what does it cost? Okay, this is our website. I know a lot of you have already been there. This came from our website. So Smackdab is modular. It's not built like iPoint. iPoint is all or nothing. Basically, you buy iPoint, we have a fixed price for everybody, no matter what. It's all in. Smackdab is modular. It's built to let you tailor it to what you need. So it does have base plans. These plans are listed on the website. We're still working on the below there is where the big comparison is. That's still in the process of getting finalized. But the point is you have tiers and you, including a free tier. We're going to have a free forever tier. The Kickstart plan is basically our first paid plan. And for today, since this is new, it's just CRM. That CRM piece under the Kickstart plan is included with your iPoint licenses. So there's no charge to use Kickstart. When you go up to Momentum, it basically, if you're larger, if you want to do our multi-branch stuff, if you want to do AI, if you need more capacity, then we bump up to Momentum. And all your cost is to split the difference between Kickstart and Momentum for now. As we get going, and so sorry, back up here. The add-ons, there's add-ons down. So this isn't actually live, but on the live website, basically we have the marketing is a flat rate. It's not a per usage. It's a flat rate. It's $45 for marketing, unlimited emails, unlimited contacts. Whereas all of the others, MailChimp, all of the others, they basically charge you more and more per contact or more email sends. We're just a flat rate. We have our own email servers, again, infrastructure. We build our own email system, our own internal server. So we don't have to pay a third party to send the emails out. We have the phone system with texting. That's an add-on because there's a per cost for everything. When you send stuff, whether you're calling or sending text messages, those are all per charges. And then we have a Bookings Pro, which is on the website. It's not ready yet. So the booking system that I talked about, it comes with your plan. It's part of all the plans. Then we have a Booking Pro, which is where you can do like round robin. You can do voting. There's a lot of extra functionality that'll be available. It's just an add-on if you want it. Proposals and invoicing is included in all plans. So it's not like every time you release something, it's another upcharge. So I don't want you to get that impression. That's not what's going to happen. There will be certain things like the help desk will be an add-on. We may deal with inventory as an add-on, but I'm not sure yet. And I'm just being honest with you. We haven't quite figured it all out because we want to make this flexible. So we will probably have a separate pricing tier for field service, whereas iPoint was all in. We're going to look at the technicians as a separate entity, and it's got a different feature set. It's priced differently. So it's just a completely different model than iPoint. And I do not have all the answers yet. So I'm sharing with you guys everything I know right now. And as I know more, as we work through it, I will share with you. And we want to hear from you. So be involved in the community. We'll put stuff out there and ask for feedback. Eventually, what's going to happen as we make the transition between Smackdab and iPoint is we will flip the script. And we'll say, look, as long as you have this plan or you have this dollar threshold in Smackdab, iPoint is comped. So as we port the features over, you can just go, well, I just want to pay for Smackdab and use this, and iPoint will just come with it. So that's what will happen. I don't know exactly how we'll work that out, but that's the idea so that we can make a smooth transition from one platform to the other.
Brooks, before you jump off of pricing, one question came in. What do you mean if you want AI when talking about the momentum package? I thought this entire platform was AI based. Could you expand on it? That.
Yeah. So AI, basically every time we call AI, it costs money. So there's very limited AI in the free version. There's some more in the Kickstart, but we have AI throughout. We're going to have a lot of it available, but the amount of usage depends on the plan that you're on. So it's not just because we have AI, it's very expensive in reality to run it. So it comes with the more advanced AI functionality comes with the higher plans.
Perfect.
All right. I think that might be my last slide.
Oh, I guess one more pricing question. At the end of the day, is this going to be more or less expensive than iPoint?
Depends. We actually have three different pricing. So we've never raised the prices in iPoint in 12 years. Sorry, we never raised the price on you in 12 years from the point you bought in. So if somebody who bought in 12 years ago, you've always paid the same. We've never raised your prices. I don't know of anybody else who operates that way. But if you're on the bottom plan of iPoint, it's probably going to cost more. I mean, it depends on what plan you choose. If you stay on Kickstart and you don't want any extras, it could be less. That's the thing. This is more modular, so you'll have more flexibility to decide what you need for your operations. So I can't tell you if it's more or less because it's so modular. It's based on what you need.
And then with that is just kind of the idea that the iPoint feature set that we have, we're trying to kickstart should encompass the majority of iPoint features today. Is that correct?
Well, iPoint is $60 today. So Momentum is more likely where the primary feature set's going to land. So
Perfect.
iPoint and Momentum are priced very similar right now.
That answers it.
Okay. So at this point, that's the end of my slides, it looks like. So I really would rather just open this up for Q&A. So Rob, you've been watching the chat. I have not. So maybe we go back and take some questions for a little bit here. And I can bring up Smackdab and talk through it. My intent today was not to sit here and walk you through Smackdab. You guys can get in there, you can look around. The webinars next week will be about getting into the platform and starting to work through the platform. Today, I just needed to get all of this out there so you understood where we've been, how we got to today, and what to expect moving forward.
Perfect. Question about is there a manual available for Smackdab?
It's yes, it's absolutely it's in the works. So let me pull up my screen here. So it is smackdab.need which is just a free knowledge base system we're using. We're going to have our own knowledge base system as part of our help desk. So we're not paying for it. But it's here. So just go into getting started, and the team is actively building out this manual. We also will have it in the chat engine is also going to be able to use AI to answer some of your questions. So from the help, it's not on right now because we're still finishing it up, but in the chat, you'll be able to just say, hey, how do I create a contact? And the AI bot will come in and go, oh, you click right here and do this. And what we really want to do, what we're working towards is if you've done onboarding, you've seen some of those guided tours that we do. We really want the AI bot to be able to fire off those guided tours for you. So if you're like, how do I do this? It'll say, well, I can show you a tour. And you can say yes. And it will literally just walk you through inside the app how to do something. That's by the end of the year is what we want for everything. Every main question you could have, our intent is to build out a walkthrough in app. So very much self-help. We don't want you to have to call and get a live person every time. Now, I want you guys to know I hate AI bots. When I go and try to go to somebody's site and you can't get a live person and you get the stupid AI bot and you're like, I want a live, that is not what we're going to do, right? So our AI bots are there. You're going to know it's AI. And if you want a live person, you are absolutely going to be able to click live support and immediately get on with the live person. We are not going to make you jump through an AI bot. So for those of you who want to use the AI, it's going to be there. We are not going to force that in front of our live support.
Perfect. Can you talk about the data transfer right now between iPoint and Smackdab and how that all works?
Yeah. So currently what we're doing is pulling over your contacts, your companies and contacts into Smackdab. The team just I'm supposed to get the build, I think, out to you all today or tomorrow. It's not today. So where we finalized all of the job layers so we can get all the sub jobs done correctly, both syncing down and up. So that's took quite a bit of time. Actually, we didn't plan on. So basically, we can pull all your iPoint stuff in. We're pulling in your notes. We're supposed to be pulling in your documents, media, your activities. If you get, not very many of you ever used activities, which were separate than assignments. We had activities on iPoint. If you used activities, we'll pull those in too and create the activities in Smackdab. So we're pulling all that stuff in from iPoint to Smackdab. Then you can create new records. You can work with the records in Smackdab. Right now, I recommend you leave it on manual. When you go through the setup, there's a toggle that says, do you want to push from Smackdab to iPoint automatically or manually? We're defaulting it to manual. I would prefer that you guys leave it there for now until we're all really comfortable with sending data from Smackdab to iPoint. And that way it's a manual push. And you'll find it when you go to any record under the three dot menu, there's a push to iPoint function there and it sends it over. When we all feel like it's solid, it'll be up to you to go flip it to auto and then it'll just go back and forth. That's currently how the sync works. Now, you do have to be on a new version. We have iPoint. All of you who are running on a 14.04 something, you're getting an update tonight. It's it's a fresh update that addresses a couple bugs. The rest of you, we've got about 80 of you who are going to get that update. The goal is to get all of you updated in the next week or two. We're rolling it out. So everybody, if you're not on a version tomorrow, if you're not on a version 14.051 and you want to be, shoot us a message in the Smackdab chat and say, please update me ASAP, and I will prioritize your file update.
And on that, that's fine to throw that in the chat. Any questions you guys have, if you could use the Q&A section, it'll be a little bit easier for me to group them and organize them together. But Brooks, on the Smackdab iPoint relationship, the other question is, I'm not really understanding how Smackdab today is useful for a full iPoint user. What good does it do us to build a proposal in Smackdab if it then can't flow to sales orders, projects, work orders within iPoint?
It will.
Yep.
So as we add new modules, we will absolutely, if we build proposals, it'll just push over to iPoint. So you can
Yep.
run it through the rest of the system. The reality is all of that other stuff is going to be coming very fast after proposals. So we'll make those calls as we get closer. We're actually building so you understand when I say we're building proposals, we are simultaneously building inventory control, invoicing, products, and proposals. We have actually four things happening all simultaneously when I say proposals. So having sales orders, change orders, and invoicing will land very fast after proposals come out. So do we go through that? I don't know. If I say, look, we're going to drop the rest of the sales orders and everything else in a month or two, we may not even fight with the integration because we spend more time screwing around with the integration than just getting the rest of it out. So we'll play that by ear. But if it's something that, look, if we said, look, we're going to do sales or work orders this month, sure, we'll make it bi-directional work order. That's not happening, but that's an example. If it's something that I know that you need the rest of iPoint to work through, then we will make sure we have a migration that works back and forth for that functionality. And then what is it good for? It's a CRM. So if you don't need a CRM, then you don't need to use Smackdab. So some of you may be fine with just iPoint and you see no value in the functionality we're adding. I understand. We're not saying you have to use it. It's been built as the foundation to jumpstart the rest of this. So if you don't see value in it yet, just hold tight.
Question from Eric. We love the blank canvas that Smackdab offers, but we do not have the time or manpower to create our custom Smackdab platform. We're hoping that you'll offer a service to help us build that out with something like that in the works.
That would be the partner network, but it's not a blank canvas. So Smackdab is very much ready to go as a CRM. It just means if you wanted to do something, you can. If you don't like the way it is, you can change it. We're not handing you a blank canvas and going, okay, you figure it out. You can sign up today and start putting deals in and emailing people and tracking your notes and making phone calls. And it works like any other CRM what you could go sign up for. It functions today just like that.
Our whole goal of Smackdab is to make it as intuitive as possible so somebody can jump in and immediately get going, but also have it be as fully customizable as possible. What we ran in with iPoint is constantly people wanting more and more and more settings. We're trying to get in front of that right away with Smackdab with giving you those options, but we want the easy basic workflow to be right there in front of you from the beginning. So that's what we work towards.
Yeah. So I was looking at the webinar chat. Steven, tell me the proposal builder will have a top-notch word processor for the scope of work as iPoint version makes me want to jump off the cliff. Yes, we will have a top-notch word processor. Uh, will you be able to attach docs to proposals? Yes. Remember, it's also all going to be in a customer portal. So really, when you present it, it's uploading to a portal. So it's not like you're emailing all this stuff out. If you're uploading it to a portal, you send your client their login, they log into the portal, and it has cut sheets, PDFs, whatever you want to upload into the portal, it's all there for them to see. Uh,
On Portal.io is will we still have a native integration with Portal.io?
I don't know.
We will continue to support that integration within iPoint for sure. Whether we do that within Smackdab is the unknown.
Yeah, I do intend to be able to import DTools proposals into Smackdab.
If we own our own in-house servers, will we be keeping those as data backups?
Not for Smackdab, but iPoint for sure. Yeah, you can keep iPoint backup indefinitely, and we'll definitely provide that as well. For our, we'll keep files probably running, even if you're not using it. We'll keep backups for you and make them available, I think. So we'll figure that part out. We won't just shut it off and then you don't have access to your iPoint. Even if you're hosted on us, we'll make sure that there's a system there to keep that live for you.
Um, is there a time frame of when iPoint will be fully pushed to Smackdab and iPoint will no longer work and you have to use Smackdab?
Yeah, we're not sunsetting and shutting iPoint off. So our intent is to be on feature parity, meaning SmackDab has everything that iPoint has by 2026, by the end, not the beginning. So that's our goal. Does that mean we're shutting off iPoint? Absolutely not. No, it's not like everybody's just going to want to jump ship immediately. We know that, especially some of our larger, more enterprise clients. That's a slow moving ship. So there is not like, okay, you have till 27, we're shutting the thing off. It's not what we're doing. We will continue to support it and have people to support it for you.
And kind of similar question, just is Smackdab going to replace iPoint?
Yes. Jason Stanley, since this platform has the ability to store and aggregate a lot of data, will there be tiered pricing for this level of storage? No, we're not like charging you more just because you have more storage. We don't have that's not anything we're going to measure. Inventory management is still a feature. Will there be more inventory management options, features to customize? Yes. As I mentioned, it's actually already in R&D right now. And yes, it will have more features. And yes, it will be very customizable as well. If you want to add fields to, especially products like inventory customization, there's only so much you can do with transactional inventory. But the products and the other things around it will have a lot more functionality where you can add stuff to the products if you want to create new fields and track things in a different way.
A few questions about design and engineering. Just plan for that within SmackDab, ETA, breadth, that stuff.
We haven't talked about design and engineering. We built one to work with iPoint. Um, Being honest, I haven't even looked at whether we're going to port that over. I'm sure we will. We already have it built for iPoint. I think we could be able to just take that same D&E system, actually finish it up. It just kind of sits there with iPoint. Um, so can we take that? And I'd have to look at it. It's also really old. I mean, that came from a third part. That was an open source project that we forked back in 2015. So again, that D&E platform we have is really old. So I would tell you that D&E will not come before porting the rest of iPoint over. So we're not going to be diverting engineers to do D&E engineering a platform while I still have iPoint functionality that has not been built in Smackdab. But after that,
Uh,
then certainly we'll look at that.
what is the best way to see a demo of SmackDab?
Just go sign up and log in. But other than that, come to our webinars. We're going to start doing webinars next week, and we'll start doing demos of sections. The platform's huge. So it's not like you can just sit down and we're going to do sales demos on it. But come to the webinars and we're going to definitely start doing structured webinars and we'll cover high level and then we'll start doing detailed breakdowns of different topics on different webinars. We will record them. So if you missed it, you can go back and watch it. And then we will continue to do training and in-app help is continuing. It's a constant process. We're building out the in-app tutorial. So we're trying to hit training from three different angles right now. But have a little grace. Like we're just switching gears. Like we've been all development, nothing but development until literally this week. And finally, we got some supports people now on the chat system. Like we're just shifting gears. So this is our launch party. So we're ramping into it. So have a little grace on this stuff. We are working diligently on it.
Integration with Microsoft Teams or
Mhm.
Slack or doing our own chat engine.
So we'll have a complete chat engine that's part of the application, standalone. So we'll basically have a Slack version that is a part of the Smackdab environment. We will absolutely, we'll have an integration with Zapier. Doing an integration with Slack is very simple. I'm sure we'll fire up our own one. That kind of goes in that marketplace I mentioned earlier that we'll do a marketplace. Slack would be like a marketplace integration where we'll build it out. It's from us, but you turn it on. Um, but Slack is no big deal. Teams is harder to work with. Microsoft is not a easy API partner. So right now we can sync. We're supposed to be able to sync emails. So if you want to do the 360 email sync up with our clients, so we can embed it all with your client records. The the Teams meetings are a pain in the butt. So we can record your virtual meetings from Zoom and Google. So it's, everybody has those little bots that join. Smackdab has the same functionality. But the nice thing is it's all linked up. So those bots are hooked into your customer record already. So when we record something, it's all attached to the customer and the deal. So you don't have to go out and have your third party record it and then somehow bring it over and attach it. But Teams is a pain. So everything Microsoft is just an extra pain to work with. So we are working on that. I want to give you login with Microsoft on the front page, like we do login with Google. That's in the works. It's not in the works. It's called the backlog. It's sitting there. It's something we want to get done. So we will do as much integration with Microsoft as reasonably possible.
Being able to text chat with clients.
Mhm. We can do it right now in app. So we have a full texting. You have your own phone number, and you can put that out. And when they text back and forth, it comes through the web app. We've got to get that added to the mobile app still, which I think we can probably get done hopefully by the end of this month, the end of May here. So yeah, we're working on getting the texting app fully embedded everywhere. So you can have broadcast, meaning I can make a message and send it out to 100 people, like a special or a promotion, or one-to-one.
You mentioned email syncing for 365. Will that bring in the folders from Outlook or just emails?
Right now, it's just emails. We are going to go back and get the folders too from both Gmail and Outlook and add those into our client. That's on the short list for the email client.
Is our API available now?
Yes, it's not, the API is not as robust as it's going to be. We've just started shifting gears to the API. The API we're exposing, they have to kind of go through piece by piece and take our internal API and flip it over to a public API. So I'll post it. I'll send it out in the community. I'll post where it's at.
Perfect. Will there be default workflows that can be copied and modified versus making our own from scratch?
There are. Yeah. So in here, if we go into the automation engine and we go to templates, so these are some we've built now here. So if I go to activity, I could preview that one and then say use this template and it jump starts me.
Perfect. Does the email module just sync with my Gmail so I can continue to use a Gmail interface
Mhm.
and then Smackdab tracks it, or will I have
Yep.
to use Smackdab?
You don't have to use Smackdab, but it won't link up all the time. So if you want to be able to create contacts and have it linked, like we don't know. We are looking at the email address. So if it is an email that is already in Smackdab, We are grabbing the emails and attaching them. If you get an email from a client and you haven't put them in Smackdab, you're gonna have to do that manually unless you use our email client and then you just click a button that says add to Smackdab and it grabs. We have an AI agent that basically looks at your customer signature. So if they've got their company and their phone number and their address all in their email signature, we grab all of that and autofill it for you. So it's up to you. You don't have to use our client.
And same with calendar.
The
Same question.
calendar.
Like that same question, like being they can continue to use Google Calendar and that'll
Mhm.
sync up with the Smackdab calendar.
It
And
does.
then I don't know if
Mhm.
you also just want to with the email, do you want to talk a little bit about the email interface and how that's like you kind of built it looking heavily at other email programs, so it's a really nice interface.
I have, yeah, so I don't have mine set
You don't
up
have
here
it linked
at the
up.
moment. Yeah, so we'll do it in a webinar. We'll definitely go over it. And I needed to make sure that what I show on screen is not, I pull up my email and there's some inappropriate email from my wife in there. So let me make sure I get one ready to go so I can show it appropriately and safely.
Uh,
365 calendar, yes, that we do that already. And so we do two-way with calendars. We pull it in. Now, what we don't do at the moment, we will. We are not currently modifying an event that we pull from an external calendar. So in the calendar, which again, I haven't set these up, so this is a bad one. No, this isn't me. Let me get out of here. Log into my own.
while you're doing this, an easy question of is this webinar being recorded and will be available to people afterwards?
Yes, it's being recorded. I've done two of these over the last 2 years, and I thought it was recording my screen. I told it to, and yet we get done and my screen's not being recorded. So I hope so. If it's not, I'm so sorry. The audio and me is definitely being recorded. In the past, it didn't record my screen, and I don't know why. So I hope it is, and if it's not, we will get it figured out for future webinars for sure. So it was a little hectic today. Okay, so here's my calendar. Let's turn on Google. There you go. So when I bring up our calendar, and this calendar is going to be so cool, you guys. It gives me goosebumps. This is homemade. So again, every calendar that any CRM or any application you use, most of them are off the shelf. They just use an open source calendar. We couldn't find one that did what we wanted to. We built this from scratch, which means we have complete control of it. So when we want to add a feature to this calendar, it is ours and we can do so. I'm not going to get into it today. It's got so much here, and we're going to be adding so much more to it. This thing is really cool. But these are my events that came off my Google, right? And so I can click it and get the details, and we're going to make this a little better than it is now. But right now, we're not going to let you grab a Google event and grab like it just doesn't go anywhere. So that's today. We will enable this in the future. We're stepping into this slowly. So our events we create here, we can move them around, do whatever we want. If we pull it from an external calendar, for now, it's read only in this calendar. But you need that. We had to get that done ASAP. And the reason we made that work without spending the time yet on the bidirectional modifications is our booking system needs to know what your calendar looks like. Like if you want to let people book your calendar, we had to get your external calendar synced so that we make sure we know when your openings are so the booking system can only expose your truly open times to be booked.
Can we tie the texting to our office landline number?
I don't know. I don't think so. So that's if you I mean that's like saying if I have Verizon, can I use Smackdab and text through Verizon? No. You can't. We use a platform called Twilio. It's a huge platform. Almost everybody uses it as their back end for their phone system. So we have to have a phone number from Twilio to send. Now, here's where I'm going to say, but we will be doing integrations with other third-party phone providers. Right now, we only did Zoom because that's what we used internally, so it was easy to do Zooms. Zoom, for example, though, doesn't let us send text messages through the API. So even though I'm integrated with Zoom, I can't send a text message over your Zoom phone line. I have looked, other providers do allow us to send texts via the API. So we will be adding more phone providers. We'd like to add, the top 4 or 5 big ones, Dialpad, AirCaller. There's a handful of them that are the big ones. And we'll probably take a poll of Smackdab users and ask you what you're using so that we focus on the most important ones first. So if the provider that we integrate with provides the API to do so, then yes, we will. So that was a long answer to a short question.
Any chance you'll pursue more enterprise grade integration with Office 365, SharePoint, Outlook?
Very possible. So Smackdab, big picture, this is not meant to just be for the AV industry. That's partly why it's so open-ended. We have actually built it on enterprise grade security under the surface. We have enterprise grade architecture, the way we support multiple branches, divisions. So our plan is to absolutely go after enterprise. And so as we move toward that, we will be spending more effort on the Microsoft stuff
Will the customer portal be customizable and have capabilities to be tailored per customer?
per customer. I haven't thought of, I'm not even sure how that would work.
I think my initial guess was be Charles, if you want to clarify, but basically you might have different tiers of customers and you might want to display different pieces for them. It's going to be basically like the forms that we have.
I hadn't thought about that. So I don't know. Anything is possible. So it just depends on what it, I guess that would be great. You should really hop in the community and go to the ideas section and please post like a nice write-up of what you're talking about. That would be really helpful. So for all of you, please use the community for writing up ideas. Don't throw them into our support chats. It's just the wrong channel. So we need to, I want community involvement. So put your big ideas so the community can get involved and start to go, oh, that's a really good one. We want to upvote that. That will help us know what's important to you guys. We are watching that community site closely.
That's a really good point, Brooks. Do you want to show the help system here on your screen and just
Sure.
kind of clarify what to use for what?
Yeah. So if you go to help, there's three actual sub options down here. So support chat is the primary, and I can just start a new chat. These are my open chat tickets. So this is like a chat system and a help desk system all in one, which is different than, when you do a normal chat, it's just like a chat. We actually are locking it into a ticketing system. So I can go back and look at any of these, and these are my open tickets. I can also look at history, which is my closed tickets. You can close a ticket, and so can we from the back end. But at any point, you can just start a new one and say, hey, I have an issue. And then you go to this attach, and you can go, I'm not even sure if this will work, but we'll try screen recording while I'm doing this. So you say allow. Yep, it's going to work. And then you can go in and show us what the problem was. This isn't showing me enough information. I try to click this. It's not working. And you go down here, click stop. You can review it, click attach. And now that video is ready to go over to chat and you hit send. So that's the chat system. That is got a live person behind it. Feedback. This, please don't send stuff here if you're wanting a response. This is just a one way. This just comes into us and we don't have a response mechanism built into this. This is, it would be really cool if, and I know I just said to put your feature requests into the community, and I'm still standing by that because I want you all to start to engage and vote on stuff. There's no voting system here. This is really what we built the feedback for was for bugs. That was the original intent of, hey, I tried to do this, it didn't work, just sharing this back. We built this before months and months and months ago, before we were ready to launch. So this was really preliminary. We may pull feedback out because we don't really need it anymore. We got chat, and if it's a feature request, we want you to go to the community. So we may yank this out of here. Search docs. This is actually a really basic AI agent. How do I add a contact? Let me see if it even works. Yeah, so it does. It's just super basic though. It's not very smart. So we're working on a smarter AI agent, but yeah, this does work and it did absolutely answer your question.
Will the Smackdab calendar sync backwards to the calendar to the two-way sync between
Yes,
out
it's two-way.
calendar?
Both of them, both Outlook and Google, they're two-way syncs.
Running our service department, ticketing and client communication is very important. Will Smackdab help with this?
Uh, yeah,
So,
definitely the help desk system will for sure.
yeah.
So if you want to, I mean, if you've got your own help desk and you're happy with it, that's fine. But when we start to think about a centralized platform that can do everything, our intent is to provide you a platform that is equal or more powerful than whatever help desk you're using, so that you have all of your client records in here, including their service history, and you can use our help desk so you keep it all together.
When will the native phone system be available? And will this be like momentum package or additional writer?
It's a rider. It's already on. So the phone system is already listed on the website because it won't matter whether it's, um, I don't think it will matter from our standpoint. We'll see. I got to figure out what our costs are, but on, what is, there we go. So the phone system is Smackdab Talk and Text here. So it's 45 flat rate, and then you just have to, we charge for the minute. So it comes with 500 credits. So it's a per minute and a per text charge. Um, so it's should fall under this. I mean, from our standpoint, I don't think it'll matter. Now, if there's other features that come online, like AI recording, stuff like that, that's where there could be an adjustment to that.
I think I got through everybody's questions. If we haven't,
Oh, I saw some that you didn't ask me, so
did
let me
I?
scan them real quick. And obviously, you guys, if you need to go, you can go. So I'll scan these real quick. Somebody asked something I know that we missed. Well, Portal IO still have that one. We did that one. You did do good, Rob.
I tried.
I might have missed this. When can we import iPoint CRM into Smackdab? Now, as long as you've got a version that's and so Jason, I'll make sure that yours is updated tonight as part of the patch update that's going out for the guys tonight. A Teams plugin. I know we're it's on my list.
Which pricing plan includes email marketing?
No, it's an add-on. It's right here. It's 45 flat rate. You could be on the free plan. So the way we're built is a little different. This is part of our larger go-to-market strategy. Since again, like I said, we're not that we're going to market as a CRM, although we're going to become an ERP. So we are doing something where we'll let you sign up for the free plan. So you have a no per user charge as long as that's all you need. And then you can add on the talk or the email or this or whatever else we offer add-ons. You can add on stuff to the free plan. So they are broken apart. And you guys all get the free plan under Kickstart. So you just get a bump up.
Robert's I when he's syncing to SmackDab, it's still stuck on importing files.
Then then send me a chat so we can take that off of the webinar. I don't want to get into a support webinar here, but
Yep.
we can, as soon as, if you'll put it in there, we will absolutely help you and jump in and see what's going on.
Somebody missed the answer about Slack integration.
Slack integration, I said that we will probably do it. Yeah, once we do the marketplace stuff. So sometime in the next few months, we'll do a marketplace setup where we'll add a Slack integration. So you can post into Slack if you want to. We're not going to pull Slack into Smackdab, but we will post out to Slack. If you wanted to bring Slack in, you'd have to do a Zapier integration, which you'll be able to do.
Will the update auto sort the parent and child contacts, or will I need to wipe it clean and import again?
Nope, so you just have to rerun it. So um, yeah, so you'll want to reset it. But again, send a chat in if you want me to do it for you. I'm happy to reset it for you so you don't have to deal with it. Just shoot a chat help in that says, please reset my sync after the update, and we'll take care of it tomorrow. But you can do it. You just go in and click reset. And yes, you would need to redo it because we're not auto syncing yet from iPoint to SmackDab. Once I get through this and get everybody updated, it's just a switch we can flip and enable auto sync or let you enable auto sync.
Transfer of iPoint sub. Chris asks, can you circle back on the contact transfer from iPoint with subcategories? I'm assuming that means like the jobs and
The
pieces.
jobs. Uh-huh. Circle
When will
back
you have
on
that
it.
worked out?
We just got it wrapped up. I haven't even looked at the final, what they've done. I don't know if I have a test one in here. Let's see. Move all my Zoom stuff. So let's try this out. Testing. I thought I had a parent view. Let's just update this one. Set a parent contact of 1, 2, 3, 4. Save and close. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if we went in and said group by parent contact, and so this, they haven't fixed my sorting yet. So I haven't got the build yet. That's what I'm waiting on, you guys. So when I sort on parent contact, it's not the right order. So I should see 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top, and they've done it, but I haven't seen it yet. So that's kind of the last piece that I need to make this work right. Now, what does work is if we add the column for hierarchy, uh, this one, record hierarchy. Then you can see the full path. And this is what iPoint does natively. So where you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 colon. So that's, then you can sort on this and that should sort properly. Let's just check it out. Yep, and that one works properly. So the hierarchy one does. We have different. So again, Smackdab is more flexible than iPoint. So we have this cool group by that expands out, or you can run it linearly like this, where everything lists out in a chain. And then from there, you can open that up. And if I open up a child record, you'll see the parent above it. Where was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one. So we list it out kind of like iPoint does, where we'll list the parent and a colon, and we'll keep kind of cascading down for you.
Can you head back to the pricing page real quick? The question was, how much is it per user? So just these are the prices per user.
Yeah. So like all new SaaS, we're doing the same thing. We're doing a monthly and the annual. So there's a little toggle up there. Doesn't matter which one. This one's just grouped in with your iPoint license. So monthly versus annual. And you can go in here and it's, I mean, this is on our site. You can go there and check it out. But this Kickstart plan is going to be comped with iPoint.
And then each user will have different settings and permissions and be able to control that all from the main company.
You can control everything from the main company. So if you say main company, I assume you mean you've got branches. And yes, if you got a multi-branch configuration, then you can control everything from your administrator account, where you can see all of your branches. Like I have 3 branches, and so I can go on my hierarchy and I can start navigate. I've got a big map, so it takes a little bit, but there's the top, and then I can start running down my hierarchy, go to my permissions. It's all in here. So Smackdab, for those of you who don't know, has got an incredibly granular permission system available. That's something that comes on the upper plan. So the Kickstart plan has just 2. It's user or admin. If you want the granular one, that's a feature. For example, it comes on the Momentum. If you want to dig in and talk about very specific, they can add this, but they can't delete this, and they can edit this, but they can't. That's on Momentum.
Seeing a bunch of excitement, and which is a good final question of what needs to be done to integrate iPoint.
Uh, so in iPoint, you need to make sure that you're on the version that I'm going to update tonight. So it'll be 14.0501 is the minimum version number. And iPoint, it's in the bottom left down here of iPoint. It tells you your version number. And then you would go into, I can get you started. Again, I will cover this more, I think, we'll start with this in our first webinar that we'll do next week. This is not the right user account for me to get in there. I'll have to cover that. So down here would be a option for data import, and that's not present in this account that I'm showing you right now. So under data import, it should be there, and then it just says enter your iPoint credentials. You do that, you click next. It asks you a couple of questions that are self-explanatory. You click next and let it go.
And if you haven't already, if you don't have a Smackdab account, go to smackdab.ai and you can sign up for a free account.
Yeah, so just go to our main website here and just go to the login button up here, and it will take you back to the, it's going to log me in because I'm already logged in, but it takes you to the page where you just say create account. And then try to only create one. I think they finished this. So in the early days of when I started this, we weren't catching that, warning you that somebody already signed up with the domain, and we ended up with a bunch of duplicate, everybody got their own account. So if you happen to have that situation and you need us to help clean it up, let me know. I think it's already been fixed now so that if the first person signs up, the second person's going to get told, hey, you already have a domain, under, an account with this domain, request to join that domain, and it sends a request into the admin. So I believe that system's live now.
I think that's everything.
Okay. I will send stuff out to you guys. I think we're shooting for a Tuesday webinar. Uh, we'll, we will do a mixture of times. If we need more webinars, we'll do more, but we're gonna start with two next week. So I think I'll shoot for Tuesday and Thursday of next week. We'll probably do one. Well, for those of you who are still here, how do you like this 2 o'clock time frame? This is 2 Eastern for me, and I think like it covers the gamut, except for the poor people in Mountain who have lunch at 12 o'clock right now. But for everybody else, is this a good time? You can thumbs up or yes in the chat. Good for me. Good for
Everybody's saying
me.
good so far.
Okay, I think we'll probably shoot for these 2 o'clocks just because it's a nice window. I think for most everybody, it's the middle of your day. It's somewhere in that without hitting the beginning and the end. So we'll shoot for that, and we will adjust. If we need to do an earlier one or something, we'll figure it out. This is, like I said, this is all learning. We are working through this. We need your feedback. Please be kind. We're going to do our best, and it's important that we do this right and methodically. And uh, we're looking forward to this. I hope you are too.
One quick question did pop in. Phone app for Smackdab, estimated time frame of it launching.
We have the phone now. So the basic one that just you can go in now. So you go to settings and under, my gosh,
Like
where's,
like
oh,
the iOS or Android app.
the phone app. I'm sorry, the phone app. Let me get an update out to you next week. We could release, I think, the version that is the old theme. So those of you who've been with us a while, we had a purple theme initially, and we got rid of that. So the phone is very much themed like the old version. We could do a test flight only release to some of you if you want to get your hands on it. So let's do this. If you want to be an early beta tester of the app, send me a chat in the help from the help. So I mean, say chat. I mean, go here, go help, send me a chat and say include me as a phone beta tester, and I'll throw you on the beta tester list, and we'll let you have it. It's available now. I just have to add you manually to the beta testers. Kindness is weakness. Sorry, Adam. I remember that. All right, guys. I'm gonna get going.
Thank you, L.
I'll see you guys next week. Whoever's going to be there. I will be at these webinars, hosting initially, and eventually we'll bring in some other staff, but I'm going to head them up while we get going. Thank you for being here. I know you took a bunch of time out of your day, and I appreciate it. So take care.